Hi, this is P.S. Sundar. Welcome to Dalal Street Week Ahead program sponsored by Delta.Exchange. Last Monday, I think that is May 12th, the Nifty shot up nearly 1,000 points from around 24,000 to 25,000. Then after that, the market has not fallen. It has been just consolidating. But the consolidation is so violent. One day Nifty moving to 25,000, the next day Nifty moving to 24,500, again next day 25,000. 24,500 was broken 2 times after May 12. But both the time, first time when it broke, intraday itself Nifty shot up more than 500 points. The second time when the Nifty broke 24,500, that day itself 150 point recovery, followed by another 200 point recovery the following day. 200 at the highest point it should be 250 also. So there were 2 instances in the last 15 days when Nifty broke 24,500. Both intraday positional recovery has come very, very fast. So therefore, we can reasonably assume that 24,500 is a good support. That's number one. And number two, after a week, Nifty tested 24,500, recovered within intraday more than 500 points. Then after about a week, it has come back and tested the 24,500 once again. Then again rallied by 300, 350 points. So that means we can comfortably say technically the Nifty has made double bottom. So therefore the 24,500 is once again considered to be a very, very good support. Come to resistance, the recent high is 25,100. So that's why safely I've been saying that 25,200 is the resistance. So for the last 15 days, so this is what I have been saying, 24,500 is the support, 25,200 is the resistance. Nifty is likely to trade within this 700 point range, but within this 700 point range, Nifty has been trading with a high volatility, the huge swings. If you can remember, I think Tuesday or Wednesday last week, the Nifty went up 300 point, came down 300 point, again went up 200 point, again came down 100 point, such is the huge volatility. But luckily, the volatility index is not shooting up much. So that is one part. The second part, on Friday, we closed significantly higher. The Nifty future closed around 24,900. What happened on that day evening? The Trump has announced a 25% tax for Apple. Apple phones that are not being produced in US. Of course, Apple phones all is being produced in either China or India. And then within half an hour, again he said, so he is planning 50% tariff against European Union with effect from 1st of June. That's hardly 1 week away. So this has rattled the US markets. The US futures fell drastically intraday, both the Nasdaq as well as S&P 500. And finally, there was some recovery, but there was no full recovery. So it closed, we can say US market is down, but not out. But again, the sentiment has to be bad only. So, Trump came with all kinds of tariffs. Markets fell like 20 to 30%. Now almost the entire loss is being recovered. And again, so what I heard that, in US, politicians play in the stock market. So accordingly, they make some announcements. So sometimes, there is a theory that says that Trump is intentionally brought the markets down last time. So do not know what is going to happen this time. So the Trump risk is the biggest risk in stock markets, not only in India, for all over the world. As soon as he announced the tariff, the US futures fell. The gift Nifty fell nearly 200 points. So it fell below 24,700, 24,695 or something like that. Then US markets recovered. So Indian gift Nifty also recovered. And then on a closing basis, it was like only 40, 50 point down. Another interesting thing to note on Friday is that both FIIs and DIIs were net buyers. After selling for 2 days, the FIIs have turned net buyers once again. So that should support our market. And moreover, Reliance has been stabilizing. So it went to 1460, then came to 1400. Now it has come back to the equilibrium, or what people call it as mean reversion. So to around 1430. So as long as it's stabilizing around 1430, so there should be no problem. So as I always say, keep watching HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank and Reliance Industries to see the market trend. And of course, in US markets, the Nasdaq has fallen. So generally, the IT index here, it follows the Nasdaq there. So IT index might come under some kind of a pressure tomorrow. So overall, the stand remains the same. What I said last week also is the same. 24,500 on the downside and 25,200 on the upside. And this is trading with a huge volatility. So this is trading with huge volatility means one thing. As and when the range is broken out, either upside or downside, the following rally or following fall can be more severe than what people are thinking. So in case if everything good, market breaks out, I will not be surprised if Nifty scales to 26,000 very, very quickly, maybe within 2 to 4 weeks. So that's possible. That's very much possible in June series. So that's why June series call premiums are really very high. The 26,000 call option in June series, and you see it is trading at more than 100 rupees. Right? So people are, expecting that, level to be taken out. That's why they are paying so much premium to buy. So at the same time, in case market breaks down for one or the other reason, like if 24,500 is taken on the downside for third time, then the fall can also be very, very severe. So for the time being, it is in the range bound market, 24,500 to 25,200. Last 4 trading sessions for this monthly series, I'm not expecting any very big move on a close to close basis, but intraday volatility certainly will be there. So Jane Street, it has gone from 1 billion to 3 billion. So huge amount of money is being, pumped in Indian options market. If Jane Street is what we know, but there may be hundreds of Jane Streets at play. So billions and billions of dollars are being pumped into Indian market to move the market, up and down, so that they can make money. So this is definitely time for option traders to be very, very cautious, whether you are an option buyer or option seller. See, but the option payment 10 rupees, option go to 100 rupees, then, next half an hour it comes to zero. Unless you book the profit, even if you're an option buyer, you can make good profit in this high volatile market. For the last 6 months to 1 year, I have not been hearing any good news from any option traders, whether it is of an option seller or option buyer. So the markets are becoming more and more challenging for traders. And not only for traders, even for investors also. But investors are far better, right? So since October, now it is almost May is over. October, November, December plus May, so for 8 months, we are just in a long-term consolidation market only. So of course, for the long term, the Nifty has to take out the all-time high of 26,270. So that's a longer time picture. But for the time being, so it's going to be a range-bound market, and maybe with some kind of a positive bias because FIIs are net buyers. But of course, starting may be lower because of the global cues tomorrow. So Economic data wise, there is nothing much either from India or from US. India, some manufacturing PMI data is there, but our market is not a data driven market. US also not very important. Some consumer sentiment data and this and that is there, so they are not very important. Usually in US, the monthly jobs data and consumer price inflation data are the important one. So not other things. So anyway, Monday is a holiday for US markets. So because of that, there may not be much global cues for Tuesday morning trade. So, 1 day of less uncertainty out of 4 trading sessions for us. So because like option writers are banking on, time decay. But option premiums are really very, very good. 24,800 call, if I'm not wrong. And I sold it around 10 rupees 50 paise at 2:30 p.m., 2:45 p.m. on Friday evening. And that has actually closed below 6 rupees only. And then that's definitely going to go to zero. I don't think that Nifty can reach 25,800. But still, the premiums are so high. And look at on the downside. Yesterday, the whole day, I was watching 23,500 put option was trading at 7 rupees. And I think 23,700, 500 is also like out of question for the next few trading sessions.